household, and my sister could tell you, in this house, you're gonna go to school, you're gonna get good grades, and you're gonna get a good what? Job. My sister, college graduate. Both of my oldest brothers, they all graduated. I had other plans. So I lied to my parents for 2 years, just so you guys know. 2 years. I would grab a backpack. Who knows what was in there? Get in my car and leave to school. Okay? But I had 3 jobs. I was working 3 jobs. I was a teacher assistant at an elementary school. I was a waiter. And I was a sound guy for a norteño band on the weekends. Right? It's crazy.
Dang.
And I don't know why I always like to work hard. And one time I was at a party and I guess I was doing the sound system really good. Some lady came up to me and she said, "I like the way you work. Are you looking for a job? I just fired somebody." I was like, "What is wrong with this lady? Está tomada or something?" But she gives me an interview at the party, right? She tells me, "Show up here on Monday." I show up. Who's ever heard of Los Defensores?
Oh my!
It was one of the biggest law firms in Southern California.
Yeah.
Long story short, I started working there. I started making good money, moved up the ladder. I met my first mentor there. He was a retired police officer. He taught me everything you needed to know about investigation work, how to canvass a scene, witness statements, everything. So I actually became an investigator. So I went into that department. So imagine you're 21, you're making very good income. I said F school, right? Mm-hmm. I dropped everything. I became a field investigator. I did that full time. It was going very well for me, but this is a pattern that I saw over and over. I wasn't happy. I would see, imagine this, right? The attorneys, they're usually like Jewish. They're in their office. They call me. They don't. Their clients are all Latinos, right? Everybody thinks that the attorneys are Latinos. They're not. Right? Good accident. You gotta go to the hospital right now.
Good
And to them, good means what?
Money.
Right? So you guys can imagine. I walk into the hospital. You guys can imagine this. The guy's laying on the bed, unconscious. The wife's crying next to him. 2 little kids. Right? I'm like, Jesus. So I talk to the wife. She tells me, hardworking guy. He works in the fields, illegally though, getting paid cash. I'm like, man, we can't even go workers' comp on that one, right? Talk to the doctor. 90% chance he's never gonna be able to walk again. He's gonna be in a wheelchair. So I do my investigation work. Find out the guy that did it. Background check. Nothing under his name. A kid, right? No houses, nothing. After gathering up that info and giving it to the attorneys, do you think they're gonna help out that family?
No.
Of course not. So legally, it's my job. I have to go back to that family and look at them in the eyes and tell them, you know what, we're dropping your case. You gotta sign this paper because we can't do anything for you. I had families sobbing to me, begging me to help them out, and there was nothing I could do at that point, right? Do you think they had their finances in order? No. He was a breadwinner. She's never had a job in like 40 years. Now she had to get up and get a job. Might lose her home. I saw this every single day. So I was always looking for a change. And I never knew that one day sitting down with my tax advisor, right? You guys all know Ms. Rita Rodriguez. It was not going to change for me, right? She introduced me. They bugged me. They all this stuff, right? I went through like 3 interviews, right? Because I was that skeptical guy. Did my investigation work. But when I truly found out what we did for families, I was sold out. I found out that I could actually help out the families before they get into the situation that I do for my other job, right? So long story short, me and Lizette, we moved up to Sacramento and we now have our own office as a director. As directors, guys. We have a lease, we do our own office, and like she said, we just made a little bit under $10,000 last month, right? So with this, not only, and this is part-time, I still do the investigation stuff part-time, guys. Not only can you do something that you can help out the family forever, they're gonna be grateful for you, but you can make a ton of money. Right? This is what I love about this industry. So today I'm gonna go over this presentation, okay? Do you guys all use the flip chart?
No.
No flip chart?
Yes.
Yes, some of you guys? Okay. I still use the flip chart. Okay, so when I go on the field, do you guys know the 90-10?
Yes.
Okay, so right there, the 6 services that we help out people, one of them is what?
401k.
Rollovers, okay? You should be prepared before you go out in the field. If you know that the client might have a 401k, right, from their job, because you just know that, you start asking the questions, right? Oh yeah, what I always say is, we usually get offered a 401k at our job. And what do they say? Yep. Oh yeah, right? And I always ask, okay, did your HR representative ever sit down with you and explain to you how it worked? So you gotta write down that question, right? Did your HR rep ever sit down with you and explain to you how it works? What do you think they're gonna tell you?
No.
Of course not, they never do, right? They're like, no. Okay, do you mind if I explain to you in 5 minutes how it works? Yes. Okay? I usually like those papers like the one this Rita has. I get one of those with like a red Sharpie or a black Sharpie so you can write really big. Okay? You're gonna go ahead and do this. You all got that? So you can tell them, look, Mr. and Mrs. Client. In 1978, what year?
1978.
In 1978, can you imagine if you made over $100,000, every dollar you made after that, you got taxed 70%. How much?
70%.
So I tell you, do you think you're incentivized to make over 100,000?
No.
Of course not, right? So this is when the 401k was actually created. 401k is just a tax code that was created in 1978. Okay? You could lump in IRA. You could do 403b. It's all the same. Okay? But most people have a 401k, so that's what I talk about. Yes?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So the reason why they created this, because imagine you made $105,000. Okay? And you contributed $5,000 to your 401k. That means that to the IRS, you only had to report how much? 100,000. So you got to avoid what?
70%.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. This was never supposed to be the retirement product for everybody. Never. It was supposed to be supplemental to your pension. Supplemental to your pension. Yes?
Yes.
So Mr. and Mrs. Client, there's two rules to the 401k. There's a 59.5 rule and the 70.5 rule. There's a 59.5 rule and the 70.5 rule. What this means is that, Mr. and Mrs. Client, if you have an emergency and you decide to touch your money before you're 59 years old, you get a penalty of 10%. They slap you in the hand, they get a penalty. Oh, no. Right? Not only that, when you take out money, what does Uncle Sam want?
Taxes.
Taxes. So right now,
33%.
33, right? I just like to round numbers. You're gonna lose a whopping how much?
40%.
40% of your money. Some clients are gonna tell you this. Side note. Well, I could borrow from my 401k, right? Yes, you can. But you have to pay it back with what?
Interest.
Interest. And if you get fired, you let go of anything from that job, all that interest gets accumulated and you have to pay it all at once. Okay? So side note on that. Some of them are gonna tell you that. So the 70.5 rule, what does this mean? It means that on your birthday, 70, or before you turn 70.5, you have to start getting money out, or they penalize you 50%. How much?
50%.
50% of your money. That means if you're good, if you're wealthy already, you're 70 years old, and you wanted to leave it to your kids for a legacy, they say, no, you can't. Uncle Sam, I've been waiting for 70 years. You better start taking out some money, or I'm gonna take what? 50%. Not only that, what does Uncle Sam want? How much do you lose? 80%. Mr. and Mrs. Scott, did you know about this? Usually they're like, what? They didn't tell me about this. They start getting angry. I said, if you want to avoid this, there's something called the RMD. That's something that's calculated, and we don't know what it is. It changes every year. It tells you it's the required minimum distribution. That means that at the very least, you have to take this out, or you get what?
Penalized.
Penalized. So I tell clients, do you want to leave it up to the government or the IRS to tell you how much you have to take out? Right? Not only this, but they have about 2 to 3% in what? Fees. Whether you make money or you lose money, you're going to pay fees. Okay? And I tell them, you know what I tell them? Joel, when was the last time the person running your 401k gave you a call and explained it to you in person? Or they told you how it was working, how your 401k is doing? Never. But you're paying them how much?
More than banks.
Wait a minute. You're paying somebody you've never met 2 to 3%. How do you feel about that? You get me? Clients are gonna start getting upset at this point, guys.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
So then that person's called, that would be a broker, or that would be, what do you consider that? What
It's
is that?
management fee, so
Management fee.
it's a financial advisor, whatever it might be, right? We
Thank
don't
you.
get into the details, but they know they're paying fees. So that means that whether you make money or you lose money, you're gonna pay what? Fees, that's it. So, Mr. and Mrs. Client, the sweet spot is between 60 to 70 years old to take out your money, okay? Now, there's one thing that's happening. Have you heard of the baby boomers? Right? Right now, 10,900 baby boomers are retiring every single day. How many?
10,000.
10,900 retiring every single day. When they turn 65 years old, what do they pull out? What do they take from the government? Social Security. The problem with Social Security, in the flip chart, you kind of go over that. Social Security is running out. Why? There's not enough people putting into the system. There's too many people taking it, so it's depleting. Yes? So they're either gonna push the retirement age to you're like 90, or they're gonna do what to taxes? So, Mr. and Mrs. Client, do you think taxes are gonna go up or down? Very obvious. So, I tell you, Mr. and Mrs. Client, would you rather pay taxes today that we're at an all-time low in history? Whether you love or you hate Donald, they're still low, taxes. Or do you wanna roll the dice and leave it up to the government to tell you how much they're gonna tax you once your harvest is grown? Once your hard-earned money, once you took 60 years to build up your money, and you're gonna let the government tell you, depending on their debt that year, depending if we're at war, you're gonna let them decide how much money they're gonna take from you. Mr. and Mrs. Client, what makes more sense? Right? Paying taxes today. So what options do we have? What options do we have? This is what I tell them. So this is a transition, guys. Did you guys all get this part?
Yes.
Yes.
Any questions on this?
Love it.
What was the transition right before you said the taxes up or down? Like when you're,
So do you think taxes are going up or down?
like what'd you say right before that part? Like when you're talking about
She put $600 in her
like the fact that it's gonna go up.
So there's 10,900 baby boomers retiring every single day. Those baby boomers require Social Security. They're gonna pull out Social Security at age 65. The problem is that there's too many pulling out of Social Security and not enough people funding the Social Security, so it's actually depleting right now, okay? Social Security is very weird. A lot of people think that they're taking it from your check and saving it in a little pot for when you retire. It's not like that. Whatever they take from your check goes to the retiree today. Okay, so if there's more people retiring, not enough working, what's happening? It's running out, okay? So then you ask them, do you think taxes are going up or down? Okay? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So let's move into the next part. Can you guys explain that?
Yes.
Yes.
Is that simple?
Yes, sir.
I love it. And you know what, guys? I've done it. Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. I've done it at BNPs where it's like 4 or 5 people. I swear to you, they all start popping out their freaking their 401k statements. Right? This is what happened with all her friends. Like they logged in. They're like, "Can you check my 401k?" Oh, it's okay. We're gonna do individual appointments after, right? But when they know about this, they know the true, like the way it works. They second think it, right? And are we lying about this? No. It's 100% how it works, okay? Now again, just be careful with this, right? Do we tell them, don't put your money in a... They use the bank. Why? It's safe. But do you ever get a large return on your money? No. So it's like this, okay? Right now, a CD, what's a CD making nowadays, Bob?
2.5.
Less than one,
Right?
less than 1%,
Let's say 1%. Let's give
and
it
it's locked.
and it's locked for a certain time period, right? So let's give them 1%. I tell them, what's inflation today, every single year? 3%. Are you making money or losing money?
Losing.
That's called depreciating value. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Now, 15% of the world, they try the stock market. Okay? Do they do it for safety?
Nope.
No. One simple reason. rate of return. Okay? I always like to say this and clients laugh. This is what I call the roller coaster to retirement. I don't know about you, Mr. and Mrs. Client, but I'd rather go to Disneyland, right? I don't want to I don't want to ride a roller coaster for my retirement, right? Everybody wants to end up here, but they risk ending up where?